If you're not familiar with T.I., he's a rapper from Atlanta who's had a great career by most standards. He was one of the biggest hip hop artists of the 2000s and has been successful enough to amass 3 number one albums, 3 Grammys, and 2 jail sentences. He did pretty well during the 2010s as well, but he never quite managed to reach the heights he probably couldn't have dreamed of reaching the previous decade, given the fact that he's only 5'8". Before we get into T.I.'s latest controversy, let's get a quick word from the sponsor of today's video.
You drive up to a nice fancy gas station and tell her it's the gas station with heated seats in it. You let her get out and go to that goddamn gas station. If she come back out that goddamn gas station and say them seats were heated, that's not the what she said on that gas station toilet seat. It's for the streets. I'm telling you now. Any respectable woman in the know, you go to a public restroom, you cut that awkward spot, and you goddamn pull your pants down, not past your knees, don't want to touch the pissy floor. If she don't do that, don't you bring
Bombing. As some of you may know, T.I. got into stand-up comedy a few months ago, and by some accounts, he's been doing pretty well. This past Monday night, however, the trouble man got himself in a bit of a pickle.
Yo. As many times as you joke on that shit, nigga, I'm gonna check your motherfucking ass as long as it takes. Nigga, when you stop talking about it, when you stop playing with me and mine, I'ma stop saying something.
He took the stage at an open mic to interrupt the host and go in on her for making jokes about his previous sexual assault charges, which were thrown out because the statute of limitations had expired.
So I'm going to explain this one time. This is about what happened at One Night Only at our bar on Edgewood with myself and T.I.
The woman speaking here is a comedian called Lauren Knight. She's the host of a weekly open mic in Atlanta called One Night Only. That's night with a K. And she's also the host of an unspecified number of shower caps.
T.I. came to the show. It's about over anyway. It's an open mic. He comes. He does like 30 minutes.
If you're unfamiliar with how open mic comedy works, most open mics will only give you 5 minutes to do your set. Some open mics might give you more time, especially if there's few comics or you're a big name comic. But the standard time for a set at an open mic is 5 minutes. According to Lauren, T.I. pulled up to an open mic, did a 30-minute set, and then got off stage and started heckling her. If I was in her position, I'd be irritated as well. That's like yelling at a supermarket worker for telling you the free samples are finished after you just came in and shoved the last 2/3 of the plate down your throat. Not only is that disrespectful to the organizers of the open mic, but as an audience member who's just sat through like 3 hours of mostly new material that could go either way in terms of being funny, you're probably ready to go home. The last thing you'd want to do is spend another 30 minutes listening to a guy who has less experience as a stand-up comedian than he does living in a jail cell.
Now, after he gets off stage, I'm going to the next shit. I'm hosting. I'm talking about marriage and shit. He keeps cutting me off, telling me to shut the fuck up, calling me all kind of bitches, heckling me. So I'm like, all right, come on, stop playing with me. Like, it's crazy. You keep going and I can't say nothing to you. He then starts yelling about how I need to take my wig off multiple times. Take your wig off right now. Cutting me off. Take your wig off right now. Because a lot of y'all are saying I took a cheap shot. This nigga was literally going on and on harassing me. I don't know why my eyes turn hazel. That shit is really ugly. But anyway, I said, I'll take my wig off when you speak on the allegations. Nobody was tight except for him. Nobody ever called him a rapist. I responded to him telling me in a room full of people to rip my wig off and made a joke just like he did.
So basically, according to Lauren, T.I. was heckling her persistently before she made her joke. First of all, the fact that T.I. is engaging in such behavior as a comedian it makes no sense. It's fucking crazy to me. A comedian of all people would know how tough it is to get on stage and walk through your material trying to make people laugh. To then turn around and get off stage and disrespect the other comedians is... what are you doing, man? That aside, I think anyone with common sense can understand the old concept of don't dish it out if you can't take it. And it goes both ways. If you heckle a comedian, expect them to respond. If you're on stage and you go at an audience member, expect them to slap you in the face, then let you sleep with their wife afterwards. After Lauren posted her video, T.I. went live on his Instagram and claimed that he never called her a bitch. But Lauren came back with receipts.
You see where the shit got twisted? Never called you out your name, never called you a bitch. You give me a video where I called you a bitch, I give you $1 million. Where I call you a bitch at?
Straight up lying about a situation like this when you have as big a following as T.I. does is just irresponsible. Lauren actually said in her post that she got death threats and other forms of harassment in her DMs after that live. T.I. said that shit to his fans with a straight face, knowing full well he's lying. He dodged and swerved that accountability like he was Messi scoring against Athletic Bilbao. The next day after all that went down, T.I. went live on his IG again to address the issue one last time, and he brought along a special guest.
We triggered each other. You dig? I triggered her first. She triggered me second. You dig what I'm saying? I accept that. We was both lit and we dealt with it that night, and I left it there as I felt the same way. All right? So at the end of the day, ain't nothing else we can do. Once you done sold all the tickets you can to the rivalry, ain't nothing else to sell but the reunion. You dig what I'm saying? So
Hey, you know it's Bad Girls Club Season 1 reunion.
They squashed it. I think with the endearing nature of their interaction, you guys can tell. Whole video is basically a 9-minute demo on words of affirmation. You guys get the idea. I respect the way T.I. handled the situation in the end, but if I was Lauren, Loki, I'd be like, yo, you said you give me $1 million if I brought receipts, and I brought receipts. Love and respect ain't gonna pay the bills, okay? Love and respect doesn't pay for all these shower cups that I use to make all my videos with, but don't even use in the shower. Our Father who art in heaven, I wish a nigga would give me this day my belated bread. So it looks like the issue is settled between them, but as much as T.I. went about it respectably in the end, he's still a massive clown for behaving like that at an open mic, especially as a comedian. Some venues probably wouldn't let him perform again, but I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Check out the link in the description for links to the rest of my social media, and yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Buddha me say rapper, still finna hit you with a 16. Shake up the mic and spray these bars like it's whipped cream. I'm dropping bombs like Ugandans on that big screen. Niggas all about the dripping purple like the Android 15. Have you laughing on the tube? Call me Clark Kent, I'm changing up these flows up in the booth. Chapodondo and some juice. In Nairobi all we do is win or hustle, never lose.